I'm not going to dance. I'm too old to twerk, and I'm too white to have rhythm. So I'm not going to do that with you guys. So, holy crap, I'm skinnier. Anyway, how y'all doing? I just want to say this is the largest crowd that I ever got to speak in front of, and I just want you to know I am extremely privileged and blessed to be part of this. And but I'm going to challenge you guys. I don't want any of you taking any notes. I want you to put your pens down, and I want you to hear what I'm going to talk to you guys about, because I'm going to mess with your thinking a little bit. You guys okay with that? All right. Now, once I'm done, I want you to write down what you heard. Okay? Because there's 1,000+ people in here. That means there's going to be 1,000+ messages heard. Does that make sense? So, one of the, how many of you ever played poker? Anybody? Okay. See, one of the cool things about poker is, did you know that over 50% of hands are won with either a pair or two pair? Only 1% of poker hands are won with a royal flush. The problem is, what does everybody want? A pair or a royal flush? Pardon? Everybody wants a royal flush, right? But the likelihood of actually getting a royal flush is so low. I've been playing poker. I don't know how it happened, but I joined Experior, COVID hit, and I got invited to some online poker game. I couldn't even get onto it, and then I ended up losing like all money on online poker. So I kind of became a big deal on the free side. Like I'm a really, really good free poker player, right? So then I think that I can play with real money, and that's not how that stuff works, okay? But I have a deck of cards here. How many combinations can you create with a deck of cards? Anybody know the number? 8 with 67 zeros behind it. That number you can't even comprehend. That means that the likelihood of anybody in this room having the same hand as somebody else or the exact same deck shuffled is next to impossible. And the likelihood that it'll never happen. That's how many combinations there are. So I want you guys to think about this. No matter how the deck is shuffled, when you sit down to play cards, you got to play the hand you're dealt, don't you? How many people are trying to play a different hand? How many of you are going, I don't like this hand, so I'm going to play a different hand instead of playing the hand that they're dealt? Anybody? A lot of us do. Okay? So when people play poker, the fact of the matter is that they're not going to have the same hand, one hand to another, but there are people that can make millions and millions and millions of dollars playing poker, but they've never had the same hand. They always have to play the hand that they're dealt. But the cool thing is that if it doesn't quite work out, guess what happens? The deck gets reshuffled, and you can get handed a new hand. Okay? So, you have a hand that you've been dealt, but what most people don't understand about success is that they're also the one that can shuffle. You have the ability to shuffle the deck, to place a new hand every day. You can play a new hand every single day. So don't play yesterday's hand. Don't play tomorrow's hand. Play the hand you're dealt today. The likelihood of winning goes up when you play the hand you're dealt, rather than wishing you had a different hand. Isn't that cool? Anybody hear what I just said? Who's in control of the shuffle? You are. Too many people look at success as just being this magical thing that just happens. And no, it's not. It's basically just a series of a reshuffling of the deck on a day-to-day basis. But the people that take control of shuffling the deck are the ones that they avoid the words that will destroy their vision. There are 4 words, and actually there's 5 words, but I'm not good at PowerPoint, so I didn't put the 5th one on there, so we'll get to that one here in a second. But there's 4 words that will destroy your vision because you're too busy not playing the hand you're dealt. Now here's what they are. I have a PowerPoint here somewhere. Oh, look at that. Isn't that good? I typed my name, spelt it right too. All right. Oh, if you're wondering about the VP of lunches, that's how I got the figure. I really was the VP of lunches. I went to lunch every single day for months. Okay. So, here's the words. There's 4 words that will destroy vision, and these words are the reason why racism, bigotry, ignorance, everything exists. Because of these 4 words. And if you want to destroy the vision of potential and accomplishment and everything, embrace them with your whole might. And these words are always. Well, this always happens. This always happens to me. This is how victims are created. Okay? But this is also how champions are created. See, there's 2 sides to the human psyche, positive and negative, isn't there? You can't have a positive without a negative. So here's the thing. The difference between winners and losers is perspective on the situation that they're in. That's it. That's the separator. It's all about perspective. So if you're sitting here going, well, I always do this, and this always happens to me. I always get stuck in traffic. I always get the crappy parking spot. I always get this. Really? Suck it up, buttercup. Why don't you actually look at it and say, holy crap, I got a place to park. Man, look at this. I don't have to, I get to think while I'm driving, while I'm waiting in traffic, right? You want to mess people up in rush hour? Smile. You'll screw up their whole life. They're going, how do you exist in that world? It's because I want to. Never. Well, I'll never win. I'll never get this. I never get what I work for. Hard work isn't ever paying off for me. I'm never going to get my ring. I'm never going to be an ED. I'm never going to be this. You're right. But what if you change it to, I'm never going to lose. I'm never going to give up. I'm never going to compromise. I'm never going to fail. It's all about perspective. Everyone. Well, everybody wants to be part of Experior. Everybody should be part of Experior. No, they shouldn't. No. No. You're one recruit away from an explosion, but we're also one recruit away from an implosion. We get the one person in here, comes in there, just messes around, does everything like this. They're the poker player that is looking for the shortcut and cheating. Nobody wants to be around them. Everybody should not be part of Experior. And here's the reason. We need to grow. But if we don't grow with purpose, what's the point of growth? Then we're just big. Well, it has been proven time and time that size doesn't matter when it comes to character. Character defines strength of that size. The character of the people that we have involved with us. Growth with purpose, and the purpose is this. The industry has screwed over generations and generations and generations of people, and everybody says, well, let's change the industry, right? I actually saw somebody that was with Primerica, and yes, I will use the name, and they're saying, we're going to change the industry. How are you going to change the industry? You haven't changed in 40 years. No, you're not. It can't happen. See, this is what happened. Jamie and Leanne, they invited us to the big league table. They created something that was different. And I'm going to go on the record to say this publicly, and I will say this. The greatest innovators in our industry that have come through since Art Williams are Jamie and Leanne Prickett. And the level of consistency they've kept going along with that is uncompromisable. And we know this because we're getting lunch. And as the VP of lunches, I know the value of that. Okay? And here's the worst one. Nobody wants to work with me. Nobody will be with me. Nobody wants to hear from me. Nobody will take me seriously. Nobody. Why don't you change your perspective? Nobody should miss what we're trying to do. Nobody should ever be able to say they didn't know that we existed. Nobody should ever be able to say we didn't try. Nobody should ever be able to say we didn't do what we were going to set out to do. It's all about perspective. Now here's the last one, and then I'm going to be done. They. If you can't put a name on they don't exist, they are you. They do not exist. You create them. So we don't want people to say, hey, them or they over there. We want them to say, Experior. We want them to use our name. We want them to be able to say, that's who they are. They are Experior, and Experior is they. They are the ones that are changing the game. With that, I am standing between you and food. Okay, join me on Fast Forward Fridays anytime you want. But thank you all very much for your time.